Good morning and welcome. To what shape are you in? I just forgot to put my speaker on. And it's been a few days or a little while since I've given a talk, and I don't know. I'm a teacher. I like to teach. I like to share. I like to share my insights. I like to share my discoveries. I like to share what I'm excited about. And since I'm retired, I haven't got a whole much to share except what happens in my everyday little mundane life here in Blackstone, where I kind of live like a monk. I do my walking in the house. It's a big house. And so the other day, a couple of days ago, my smartphone, a 6 Plus, I had a nervous breakdown, and it was just jumping all over the place, having a panic attack. Nothing would stabilize, so I took it to the doctor, and he said, "You got the touch. You may have the touch disease," which is common to 6 Plus. What is the touch disease? Well, your touch no longer works, and or you need a new motherboard. So I thought, I either got the touch disease or I need a new mother. So I went to the AT&T, and sure enough, the new X phone looked pretty interesting and exciting. So I upgraded, got a new phone. So I've been exploring my new phone, and it comes on. There's face recognition, and I'm on. And it's everything is so, I'm comparing it to the 6. Now to go to the 10, I've jumped over 7 and 8. And everything is so seamless. The touch, you just go here. It's like electronic painting. I mean, you just go here, 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 and you just flow. You go everywhere by just touching. Oh, touching. You know, when you watch the ads for hot tubs, or ads or ads for Viagra, or ads for, you'll always see the guy and the girl maybe sitting on a beach chair, and she reaches over and touches his hand. Touch. And then you got Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel with God reaching out and touching. And then you've got E.T. with his finger touching. And you've got this, if you look everywhere, touching. Touching is symbolic of something. In advertising, in our symbolic language, and visually, when you see somebody, you're talking with somebody and they touch you. What does that mean? The woman touches your knee with her hand. Whoa! A man touches a woman. Joe Biden touches a girl. A pedophile touches a girl. All touching. So I begin to explore this, and let's put on a wide-angle lens and really take a big-ass leap. What in the hell is this thing? It just came on. It recognizes my face. I don't have to go put in a password, nothing. It's on. It turns and looks at me. Let me see. Oh, it just came on by looking at it. It knows me. It knows me. It just got unlocked. It knows me. I'm sure I'll test it when my wife gets home, and I'll say, does it know you? We have to test it. Anyway, let's put on a wide-angle lens and see what in the world is going on here when we have the world by touch. So let's go all the way back to the Holy Roman Church, the Holy Roman Catholic Church, which spread its dome over Western Europe in replace of the Roman Empire for 1,000 years. Over 1,000 years. Or 1,000 years, okay. Since the Rome ended 400 BC, and the church lasted for 1,000 years. And so in the church, the way the reality was structured was that the world was in 3 layers. You got hell, earth, and heaven. And the whole purpose of life was to get to heaven and not to go to hell. And that was very real. The earth could open up at any moment. You could fall into hell. And the access to heaven was through the Gothic cathedral. At the late Middle Ages, every city had a huge Gothic cathedral full of stained glass. And these things were like moonshots. I mean, this took all of the treasure of that society to build that Gothic temple. These were not prefab jobs. It took the whole culture, it took all the treasure, everything went into building that Gothic temple as an entrance to heaven. It was in there that you found God. God was located in space and time right there in that temple. You can go back. Let's even go back before that just for a moment. Keep track of my time here. My watch is not working. Even when the Jews in ancient Israel, it wasn't Israel then, but God was in Jerusalem in the temple. That's where the sacrifices were made. So if you wanted to go see God, he was located in the temple. And then the Jews pissed off the Romans, and they got kicked out, and the Romans destroyed the temple. So where was God? So what the Jews did was they put God in Torah. So wherever the Jews were in the diaspora, God was in a book. People of the book. Portable God. Doesn't matter. He's not in the temple. He's in the book. Now, when as far as print, with the Holy Roman Church, books were, and knowledge and writing was in possession of the monks in the church. They wrote in Latin, and it was calligraphy. The writing was works of art. Only the monks could read that stuff. The lay people who spoke their European languages had to be read to by the priest, by the church, you see. But then the printing press was invented, the Gutenberg. And the printing press made language national. The books were now printed in English, French, German. And it made the Protestant Reformation possible, so that when the dome of this huge Catholic Roman Empire broke up, God was now portable. You didn't have to go to Rome. You didn't have to go to the Vatican or to the great Gothic cathedral in the cities. You had God in the Bible, in a book. God was portable right there. You open the book, turn the pages. You could read about God. You could read his word. You were portable, and you could create your own little groups like Calvin or Baptist or Methodist or Episcopalian or whatever. These are Bible groups, so to speak. Each one has their own interpretation of the book and created their group or their religion, you see. But it was portable. It was portable. Even today, when I remember my only really true evangelical people that I knew were my brother-in-law and his wife, and they were local evangelicals, and they were whole hog. I mean, they became a resource center. I mean, it was a lifestyle. They just didn't go to church. They were the church. They were the center. People came to them. They saved all the books, the recordings, the speeches, disseminating information. They were a hub, And they had a Bible, and it was a big Bible in the foyer, opened up with some reading glasses on the top. As when you walked in, it was kind of like, here's God, and we were just reading the Bible before you came in, and I put my glasses down. Oh, come on, I was just reading the Bible. Anyway, I digress. So the idea here with the print age, which started, when was the 1400, when the printing press was invented in the Reformation, and the breakup of the Catholic Holy Roman Empire. And the interesting thing about the print age, which was also the modern age, now knowledge was in a book, and books were stored in a library, and you opened up a book, and you read the knowledge. So when you read, if you ever notice that, there's a separation from you as the reader and the book. You are not in the book. You see, you are not in the book. You are reading about the book, and you read the words, and your imagination fills in the background, just like with radio. The background, if you read about somebody, you imagine what they're doing. But the point is, this is a passive consumption of the knowledge. You don't interact with it. You don't change it. You're not writing it. You see, you are a consumer of it. It's a passive relationship with knowledge. So the body is passive in the sense that when back in the cathedral age, you had to go into the church with your body. So there was, in other words, you had to physically go into the church, and you experienced through your senses the full panorama of this experience, the light, the colors, the smell, the sounds, the feel, the atmosphere. You felt it. It was body, you see. But then with the book, there's no incense. There's no stained glass. There's no sound. It's just words. And they all march from left to right like little soldiers. And they're all uniform. They're all printed. All the Bibles are the same, you see. So there's a uniformity to the print world. A regimentation. A passive regimentation. Like the Red Coat Army. They all march in unison, you see. Boom, 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 So there's a monolith, there's a unison, and the last, so this, if you want to see the last of this age, you could look at the 50s. It began to break up in the 60s. But what really broke it up was the computer and then the internet. And once that happened, you have a change in the age. So now we're in a new age that is as significant and great as the 1,000 years of the Holy Roman Church and 500 years of the modern world were the print age. And if you notice now, if you go to the library now, people go in there to get on the internet. And why not? Because every book written is on this cell phone. I have here, with my finger, access to all the knowledge of humanity, all the wisdom, all the religions, good and bad, pornography, everything. Heaven and hell is all here with the touch of my finger, you see. So this now is the portal here. Once where we had to get to the greater universe had to get out of our little local history. Now by local history, I mean your everyday mundane world. You go to work, you commute, you do the rituals, you eat, you go to empty the trash, you clean the cat box, all this mundane, everyday world, which is essentially ritualized by our habits. We break it up, go on a vacation, we do things, have little adventures, but mainly it's the same, and we like that. What would we do if every day was a brand new world and we had no idea where we were, what we were going to do, you see? So there's a security in this ritualize, but we long for the adventure. We long to get beyond. We long to transcend. And that's why religion and mysticism has always come in. It takes us to the other shore. It takes us out of our mundane little world, you see. So now this, I've got God in my pocket. I've got God on my fingertip. And it interacts with me seamlessly. There's no my thinking. If I think something, my finger does it, you see. My finger is my thought. My finger is my thought. I want to go here, I want to go there. I go with my finger. Boom, 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 you see. Seamlessly. That's why the whole evolution is towards seamless. No interruption, no jerk, no pause, no waiting, no interruption, you see. It's all seamless. Seamless uniting the body and the mind. So this is kind of, this is a new world in which we all live in. Everybody's running around. Why? Because it's interactive. The print age, you see, when you had a book, you read the book, and you had control over the pages, you turned the pages, but you didn't interact with the book. You didn't interact with it, you see, you consumed it. Now this, you see, you not only consume the information, but you interact with it and change it. Go to Wikipedia, you can change the encyclopedia. When you put anything on here, on the internet, you change the internet. The paradigm has changed, you see. Now the paradigm here was that God was in a location, just like the God of Israel was at the Jerusalem at the temple. God here is in a space-time location. Now it's in a book. With the print age, God's in a book. Knowledge is in a book, you see. But it's a passive relationship. You're not interacting with it. Only the authorities can tell you. You see, you just consume the information, you see. Now this changes everything, because now I consume the information, but I create the information. And this cell phone, if you look at the vast web, you see, this is called Indra's net. This vast web, and at every intersection of the threads, there is a jewel, a dewdrop, that reflects everything in the web. So every intersection of the net is the center of the net, but at the same time, it's part of the net. This is like that. This is the center of the universe. This is the center of the internet. Your cell phone is the center. Every cell phone is the center, but it's in it also. So it's both in it as an object, but I'm also the center. That changes everything. This is a new world order, a new world, a new Holy Roman digital church, you see. But it's not religious because it contains all religions. You see, so the Roman church was one religion. And then the print world came, and you had different religions, but it was all in a book, you see. But then you had different ways of interpreting the book, and you had different religions. So still, if you went to your church, you got the Bible and you understood the Bible in the relationship to that church's interpretation. But the Bible, the book, did not contain all of the interpretations. You only had one. That gave you the security and certainty of your interpretation. Here, it's a smorgasbord. You can choose anything you want. You see, you're free. You can go here, go there, go down, go up. Follow your bliss, follow your interest, all with the finger, you see, all with the finger. So it's kind of like we have our new age now, I'll say new age, and we're still trying to figure out what it is. Because when you're in a swimming bowl, in a new fish bowl, you can't tell what the shape of the fish bowl is. What's the shape of my water? You can't tell because you're in it. You can't tell how this is shaping us. But we're watching it happen. We're watching it every day rapidly change who we are, how we think, our consciousness, you see. This world here created a certain type of consciousness. The print age created a certain type of consciousness, and the internet age, the global village, is creating a new consciousness that mankind hasn't had before, because we've never lived in this age before, and it shapes us, and we're discovering what it is. Who am I? It's a fascinating time to live. Thanks for dropping in.